Hey everyone, how's it going? Pixels here, and welcome to what is probably my last Texas Chainsaw Massacre video, at least for a while. You know, we had the dev stream yesterday, and I was really hoping that was going to give me some confidence to actually reinstall the game and to get back into playing it. But, you know, we're going to go through the dev stream, and we're going to, you know, pull out all the points that I have written down in my notes here that I took from the dev stream, and then afterwards I'm going to give you my whole philosophy about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the game, and just why I feel like it's just not it. You know, it's not time to even think about starting to do this game again, because you know, from the start of this dev stream here, they said we are going to get 150 fixes, but we're not going to be getting that until February 6th, which is fucking insane. Okay, 3.5 weeks away before we even get a patch to fix the broken shit in the game, like Danny and, you know, bugs on Nancy and stuff like that, which is absolutely absurd to think about. I know the devs have been on vacation and stuff like that. I don't want to hear that as an excuse anymore. I really don't. You know, they come back, they did these community check-ins, they were asking, you know, how's our game doing since we've been away? How you guys been playing the game and all that, and what have you found out? I don't know why we were even, you know, they already should have been aware what the problem was. They should have been, you know, putting work together for a patch to be dropping like this week. You know, Tuesday just gone, if I'm being honest, or even the Tuesday coming up. There should have been a patch to hotfix, you know, Danny being broken and a few other things that's wrong with the game. They should have been doing that. I know they said they're going to be doing, obviously, bigger patches every, like, 30 to 45 days, which is understandable, but when your game's in such a terrible state, you're going to have to be fixing the more broken balance things if you want to keep people in the game, you know? So yeah, for all you guys that were hoping for a patch relatively soon, you're going to have to be waiting for at least 3.5 weeks before we get a patch here. So I'm just going to be looking at my notes that I took from the dev stream yesterday. They said they're doing a close encounter chip damage. So, you know, when you're doing the close encounter and you usually get insta-killed, now if a family member comes along, like another family member, and you take a hit, you'll just take damage, you won't get insta-killed, which I think is kind of absurd. I don't think that was the right way to do it. I feel like if you're in a close encounter animation still, you should get insta-killed. However, if you're a victim and you win the close encounter, you should have some iframes until the animation ends before the next family member should hit you. Now, it just feels like there's no real downside to going for a grapple against a family member unless you're at really low health. So it feels like it's just such a stupid change. I'm not sure why they're doing that, why they thought that was the right way to go about it. Like I said, I just suggested probably the right way to go about it was if the victim wins the close encounter, they can't get insta-killed until the animation, like they can't get hit until the animation's over, basically. Because I think the problem is right now is you're winning that close encounter, you're even getting the prompt that you've won it, but you're still in the animation for like another 5 seconds, and that way you can still get insta-killed. I don't think that's the right way to go about it, and they should change that rather than doing this whole chip damage bullshit. Leatherface will cut down doors and stuff, no problem now, because you could obviously block him doing it if you started barging a door or something. Leatherface instant starts the chainsaw now. This one was absolutely fucking just over my head here, and I was just thinking, what the fuck are you doing? Because who in the right mind is coming out to playing Texas Chainsaw Massacre and feeling like they can do a insidious Bubba, like a stealth Bubba build, where they're just going to sneak up behind a victim and instantly rev a chainsaw and like do damage to them? It's kind of pointless, right? Like most people who play Leatherface, they just go full rev and just, you know, run around the map like crazy. So the whole buff to that, I suppose, is nice for Leatherface mains. You know, I do play Leatherface on this game, but at the same time, I just, for their reasoning behind it, saying that it's to lead to a stealth Bubba build is kind of stupid, because, you know, if you're playing a victim, you get the yellow highlighting anyway, so you know they're behind you. It's like, it's ludicrous. I really don't understand what's going on there. I really like this one, what they did though with Leatherface, where he's faster at breaking things. I always said that. Of course, they only shave like 2 seconds off the animation, but, you know, when you're playing the game, you'll notice that it will feel a lot more polished and a lot more smoother, which is something that I've been crying out for since day one for Leatherface players, including myself. You know, just being able to instantly kind of break things a lot quicker, and it would just help the overall flow playing Leatherface and make him more of an enjoyable character to play. So that one was kind of nice. That's something that I had been asking for. The blood trails have been improved. So obviously console had better blood trails than PC. Unfortunately, the community manager himself didn't even know which way it was around. He was getting all kind of confused. Like PC had thicker blood trails than console when it was the other way around and stuff. I don't know. It kind of leads to a lot of the stuff from the dev stream. They kind of confirmed that they don't even play their own fucking game. So this is the state we're at right now with the game, unfortunately. The devs don't even play their own game. There's bugs and stuff in the game where padlocks are disappearing on Nancy's house that they weren't even aware of, and they said it was something to do with the lock falling through the geometry, and it's not actually that. It's actually the lock moving into the gate and stuff, and not being able to see visually on like the focus and things like that on family side. And also the bug with Leland and Danny. So if you're not familiar with this, when Danny came out, if you see him get a gallow killed at the start of the game, and he uses Leland's sound effect, like that's been in since the game, since Danny came into the game, and they said that, oh, really? We didn't know that. So it's like, what the fuck are you doing? They've done some localization changes. I think they added Portuguese and a couple of other languages as well. The problem is, what I will say about this dev stream real quick is everything, like, I'm giving you guys it really fast here over the course of like 10 minutes. This was going on for almost an hour and a half because they did like so much like background detail, and there was so much like before we talk about this, now let's talk about a whole graphic novel of why we decided to do this and that. It was just kind of stupid, and we didn't really want to hear it. We just wanted, with the current state of the game, we wanted to get things flowing. We wanted to hear, right, what's the attack plan here, what's the action here, what you guys gonna do. But it wasn't like, sadly, it was very slow getting to the points there. They have done a poison claw fix on Nancy as well. Obviously that perk is bugged, so it will do the right amount of damage now, the right amount of effect, sorry. The perk changes that they've done as well, confusing mechanic, I'm not really sure who uses confusing mechanic. Obviously nobody runs it because it was only if you like started the car battery or the generator at the start of the game. Obviously you don't have to do that anymore. It was designed a lot differently, the game back then, where you had to start the car battery and the generator during the tech test. But now it will obviously affect the valve and the fuse. So I suppose that's a nice little buff to that. I'm not sure who would want to really put it in their build, though. Usually when the valve is open or the fuse, most of the victims have got out it anyways. So, and then the fuse, I can kind of see it making some effect, I guess. Basically easily took it out, got nerfed. And the next thing that got nerfed was Choose Flight. I'm really glad of this, even being a victim main. I think Choose Flight was a stupid perk to be in the game the way it was. Now it will only have one stack, so it will only refresh your stamina once. And at each tier, it's different percentage of stamina that gets refreshed. So at tier 1, it's 50. At tier 2, it's 75. And at tier 3, you'll get 100% of your stamina back. But it only has one stack, so you have to, obviously choose to use it wisely throughout the game. Bob's squad has now got charges per trap as well. I think it said like a tier 1 is 1 trap, tier 2 is 2 traps, and tier 3 is 3 traps. So that is the perk changes that's going to be coming. Nothing massive, unfortunately. They didn't even want to talk about their skill tree fiasco. That's still a mess as well. And a bunch of other stuff where we were expecting some Danny perks to be on other characters. Again, this is just leading to more problems with the game at the moment. Danny also is getting a huge nerf in this upcoming patch. He can't tamper study objects that have been instant studied. However, he can do it if they're not instant studied. So you have the choice if you want to instant study like the fuse or whatever before you tamper it, or if you want to tamper it instead. However, if you remove the instant study from his build, that you will be able to still tamper things and study them. You just won't be able to insta-study and tamper them. Danny can tamper and exit or study with different buttons now, so he can choose to tamper it or study it. It's not the same button. And the knowledge gain value across the board has been adjusted. I think they said the lamp was the lowest, then like toolboxes, and then going up to the exits that way. All right, another thing from the dev stream that just made me totally fucking cringe, by the way. They were talking about they want to make every character unique. They want to make them to change the game, have a different play style. I kind of get that. I understand that. They don't want to do a whole Dead by Daylight scenario where they introduce a character to the game and they have the same, 3 perks and, just oversaturating the perk pool. I understand that. I think it's a good idea to do that. However, if you're going to be bringing new perks into the game, it would be nice to see them on the other characters as well. But this was like a whole 5-minute just topic of them talking about this, and I think most of my viewers were falling asleep watching this along with me last night. And the thing is, they started saying we want to make our characters to feel unique. We actually sit here and make music playlists about what music is Connie listening to, what music is Leland listening to and stuff. It's like, why do we fucking care at this point? We want a game to feel nice. We want to have some player retention in the game. I really couldn't give a shit what music Connie's listening to. She could be listening to some hip hop for all I care. It's just, no, if this is the time that's being wasted at gun headquarters, I'm very fucking concerned at this point. Okay, so moving on to some more good points from the dev stream here. We've got some new content dropping in the next 90 days or less, and that's going to be execution packs, which is plural. Apparently these are way better executions than we've seen previously in the game, which I suppose is a good win. Weapon skins, and they change weapons as well, so we're going to have little different weapons for Hitchhiker and stuff, which again, this is something that should have been in the game already. It's nice to finally see that we're going to be getting some weapon changes as well. Cosmetics, I've just put in brackets a lot of them because that's all they said. They said they're just going to be adding a lot of cosmetics to the game. They had this studio, I can't remember their name off the top of my head, but they said they've brought in the studio to design some cosmetics for them, which hopefully leads to them actually making some better cosmetics, because what we have right now is kind of shit, and we still haven't even seen the leaked Danny ones from within the game as well, so they haven't even been brought to the game, which is kind of bizarre. They also said we will be getting the museum mode where you can explore the family house and do puzzles and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to be getting in the next 90 days. We're also going to be getting a new victim and a new family member. And they said that's going to be closer to 3 months away from now. So that's kind of fucking insane to think about. Like, we're going to be going, 4 to 5 months without any more new characters being brought to the game. And that's probably with the new map as well. We are getting the new map called The Mill, which is like an abandoned sawmill. To be fair, I'm going to be totally honest here. I really like the design of the new map. I think it looks awesome. However, the timing of this is just kind of all over the place right now for the state of the game. And, I think we were expecting something a bit faster to be put into the game at this point with how stale it is. It's kind of fucking insane to be thinking that we're not going to be getting a new map or any new characters until another 3 months. So we'll just let that sink in real quick. Also, within the next 90 days, we're also going to be getting a bride Sissy for free, which is a free skin of her wearing like a wedding dress, which, to be honest, I think could be a cool design. They never showcased this to us. And then they did show us Shirtless Johnny, which is going to be a free cosmetic as well. Now, the way they wanted to justify adding Shirtless Johnny to the game, by the way, for all you thirsty people out there, I thought it was a load of bullshit, if I'm being totally honest. They said the designer that created Johnny actually had an original concept of him being shirtless, so it was cool for him to go back to his notes and to really deep dive into the human physique and how it would look and how he would strut his stuff, basically. I was just like, what the actual fuck? It's a shirtless character. Somebody's already modded it into the game in like 5 minutes. Like, we don't need to be overthinking these things, and this is the problem. We don't have to worry about the posturizing of the fucking Shirtless Johnny character. Like, he's obviously going to have the same animations, he's going to have the same body. Like, yeah, he's got a little bit of chest there, he's got his shirt hanging out of his jeans. For all those Shirtless Johnny people, I'm kind of happy that he's finally getting him added to the game, but you're gonna have to wait like within the next 90 days for that, which is kind of crazy to think that we've already got a mod for Shirtless Johnny on PC, and the devs are kind of just sitting on their thumbs right now, and we're just like, well, waiting for that. What I will say is about the new map that I forgot to mention is that the well mechanics are going to work a little differently on that, apparently, but they never really went into too much detail about that, unfortunately. I also wrote down some of the things that they answered from questions in the chat. So they're doing a door noise rework. So obviously, if you're running through a door, obviously the noise follows you now, so they're shaving a little bit of time off that, so you can still try and make a play there. We're still waiting for a level cap increase. They never even mentioned that. They just said it's in the works. I don't even know if that's going to be coming in the next 90 days or what. They just didn't go into any detail. I feel like that was probably one of the most important topics to be talking about, and it kind of just got glazed over to the point where it was just like, oh, whatever. To me, it seemed like they wanted to hype up their content more than actually anything to do with player retention, which is a bad sign, if I'm being honest. The next one as well, they're working on a scout nerf, or they're looking at scout, so they never went into detail about that either. They asked about a battle pass. Someone asked them about a battle pass, and the response extremely fucking pissed me off, to where they turned around and just said, oh, well, a battle pass doesn't fit in our game, really. But we're going to be doing this currency, and then they didn't even expand upon. We already knew they were going to be adding currency to the game. They didn't even give us an update on what stage that's at. Honestly, it sounds like a load of horse shit to me at this point. And then obviously the lobby timer will be removed in the next patch as well, so that should help with the lobby issues. We don't know. And they also said something about the lobby issues as well, where they didn't want to penalize players for leaving lobbies, and they said that we're maybe thinking about doing that now. I'm literally sitting there just saying, yeah, you have to fucking do it, because you've got to get control of the player base. Otherwise, we're just going to have free roam dodging through lobbies, trying to get the perfect game every single time. There's too many people like that in this game, unfortunately. And yeah, I mean, you can't blame the players for that. It's not really the devs' fault. It is people just overthinking the situation way too much and being too competitive with the game to the point where we can't actually fucking play it, which is, you know, kind of pathetic. So the devs have to do something about it. And I feel like adding some lobby penalties will adjust that and help with the lobby timers, definitely. So yeah, that's all my notes from the dev stream. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of lackluster, if I'm being honest. There wasn't really any other good things to talk about. I put in all the highlights there. Okay, so let me just give you my thoughts on this whole scenario right now and, you know, what we've just had from the devs. I think this is absolutely fucking ridiculous, by the way. I think it's totally absurd to be thinking this is the right way to go about things for this game. I know a lot of people will sit there and think, well, you know, you're just hating on it because it's not something you like. No, this has got to be from the majority of player base. There's no way in hell people are happy with this information that we've gotten. Sure, it is nice. We're going to be getting a lot of content in the next 90 days, but that's 3 months from now. 3 months from now, there's a bunch of other games coming out. We could even have the Killer Clowns alpha out by then. You know, there's some critical timing here, and that's very vital in games like this. You know, the timing is very critical, and they're getting things totally wrong. And what has pissed me off the most here is they've come back from vacation. They're doing this whole community check-in shit, is to say, like, hey, what's wrong with our game? We don't fucking know. Obviously, they don't know because it's clearly they don't fucking play their game. It's evident right there. They've said it millions of times they don't. It's pathetic. It really is. And just prior to them going on vacation, it's like all of our feedback doesn't fucking matter. So they asked for us in the dev stream, will you make a Reddit post for us to tell us what you know, rules you'd like to turn off in custom games and stuff? I'm like, I'm pretty sure there's fucking Reddit posts out there already, people suggesting this. Can you not gather that feedback and then put it into the game, or just make a list of what people would like to see that's already there? Like, why are you asking us to do this now? What, like, it seems like everything's done day to day with this game. Like, shit's just done on the fly. It's never just a gathering of information. What's the priority from the player base right now? Obviously the priority is lobby timers, but the key thing here for me, and the problem is, they really wanted to highlight their content coming to the game, which is stuff that we're going to have to spend money on. Yeah, there's some free outfits and stuff being added to the game, but at the same time, there's, you know, the execution packs, multiple of those coming out. And what I will say is, we were supposed to have some fucking family cosmetics before the 1st of January, or leading into the 1st of January. Where are they? We're still waiting for those. And the fact is, we're not getting anything for 3.5 weeks. So now that's going to be leading into, obviously, the 6th of February. And we still don't have these family cosmetics that were promised in the first dev stream. So, you know, people need to stop putting these on a pedestal here and start really looking at the problems they're causing themselves and how they are acting with the community, because it's blatantly obvious they're not fucking listening to us. You know, people are spending hours of their time typing up ideas and scenarios and ways to fix the game. And it seems like, you know, even the majority of people who all say the game lacks player retention, it's like it's all just getting fucking ignored, and they're just like, oh, we know what's best. So in the next 3 months, we're just going to be dropping content in the game for you to spend your hard-earned money on. You know, we're going to be having pricey characters being dropped into the game again for $10 each. We're going to have execution packs for you to whale on and all that stuff. And fair enough, if you're a fan of the game, you want to support it, that's totally fine. You're going to have a lot of stuff to spend it on, but for me personally, I would not be spending a dime on this game until I seen major improvement on their strategy and going forward with this game, because, like I said, it's totally fucking pathetic right now. And I do feel bad for them. I really do. I know like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm a fucking game dev or anything, but, you know, it seems like the simple things they're getting completely wrong. It really is. It's nice they're communicating with the player base as well. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt on that. You know, they're communicating with the player base. You can get frustrated when you're talking to fans. You know, I get the same thing when people are in my comment section trying to hate on my fucking content. You know, it's only natural that you will react to that. But, you know, even going as far as have a fucking meltdown on Twitter, I feel like they should be a bit more professional compared to me being a content creator. You know, there needs to be some professionalism there. Not coming back and throwing yourself a fucking pity party all over Twitter saying like, oh man, these guys really are dickheads. You know, they expecting us to fix the game while we're on vacation. You know, we're not allowed to have a life and stuff. It's like, dude, just don't even fucking highlight it. You need to be coming back saying, I hope you all had a fantastic holiday. By the way, we're working on the next patch to be dropping by the end of January. This is going to include fixes on Danny and Nancy and etc. You know, this is what should have been fucking happening. Instead, we've got a community check-in on Reddit, people losing their minds. We've got another dev community check-in stream, basically going over all the stuff that, you know, we already knew that was sort of coming into the game. We got enumerate those times as well, but, you know, for 3.5 weeks away, it's just kind of soul destroying to think that that's the next patch. And Danny's going to be broken for the next 3.5 weeks, and I commend anyone that is going to stick around for this game for the next 3.5 weeks, especially the veteran players. And I feel sorry for people who are new to the game trying to get into this game. They've just picked the game up, and the community's in total disarray at this point. We're all over the place. We don't know like what's the direction of the game here, because to me it's sounding like a fucking cash grab, and I hate saying those things, but it really does. If they're only thinking of content for the next 3 months, all that's going to be purchasable content with a few free skins thrown in there. Never even mentioned they're going to be bringing in the earnable currency in this game. I can tell you this for a fucking fact right now, and I believe this is going to happen. Once the game hits its end of the first year life cycle, so in August, they said they only have content planned up until August. I guarantee you that's when they add in the earnable currency for you to unlock all the year one content for free with the earnable currency. I guarantee you we will not see the earnable currency until then, which is something to grind for and something fun to grind for to give some player attention to the game. Right now, all they're focusing on is making some cash from this content and throwing in some band-aids over some problems within the game. And the thing is, these are band-aids. They're not even viable solutions. And they, the weird thing is, they kept bringing up stuff about Sunny being buffed and Sissy being buffed. People have been asking for reworks for these characters for a long time. And they're selling us they're just in the early stages of this still. They said they were in the early stages of this in the last fucking dev stream in the early time of December. So I'm just sitting here thinking, what the fuck is going on? Like, why am I here thinking this? Am I the only one thinking this? Am I just being totally delusional and just like, being impatient with them? I don't know. I can't see a reason why anyone should be patient with these developers anymore. They need to stop putting gun on a pedestal, like I said. You need to stop holding them in such high regard. Sure, they made a good game Friday the 13th back in the day, but, that was a long time ago, and that was mainly Ilphonic pulling all the weight on that game. Right now, you've got Gun, you've got Sumo Nottingham, and both of them just clearly don't know what the fuck they're doing. And they keep claiming, they're huge fans of the franchise, and yes, they probably are huge Texas Chainsaw Massacre fans, and yeah, I'm a fan of the franchise as well, not gonna lie. This game got me into the movies, and I started to enjoy it, and I started to enjoy the game a lot more because of that. But the way the things are being handled by the developers, it's just giving me more and more of a reason to just fuck this game off and to fuck these developers off, because everything they're saying and doing just screams to me that they just want to milk this game for money. They're not adding any fun player retention into the game, and that's going to be the demise of the game. I'm just fucking laying it out down the line for all you guys. I'm giving you the realest possible opinion right now, and I'm not trying to, gaslight a community or anything. I'm saying it how I see it. There is no reason to play this game unless you are dedicated your fucking soul to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you're just completely dedicated to the game. And fair enough if you have fun with the game. I'm not going to hate on anyone for having fun with the game, but the fact they turn around and say, a battle pass isn't for their game, we're not going to be adding earnable currency for obviously quite a long time by the sounds of it, and they didn't even go into the level cap situation, which I feel like is a lot of people's concerns here, especially for veteran players. Like I said, newer players, you've got a lot of stuff to really go through. Right now, the game offers probably around 200 hours of content, which is totally fine for what it is, but anything after that, you're really going to struggle to pick this game up and feel a reason to play it for, more than an hour a day, because, you play a few matches, you've had your fun, and you're just like, well, I'm playing for no reason, really. I'm not grinding towards anything. In an ideal world, for me, if what I'd want to see from Texas, I'd love to, turn around to turn the game on tomorrow, put a stream on tomorrow, and being like, man, I can't wait to grind my hitchhiker up to get this cool outfit for him at his like prestige level 3 or something. This is something that should be fucking happening, right? Like, giving me a reason to come back to the game. And a developer, if you're in the headspace of like, content of just adding skins and adding, characters to the game is going to bring back players and keep player retention, it's not a fucking good sign at all. Obviously, the new map is really nice. Like I said, they've done a good job with the new map. But yeah, I mean, this whole dev stream yesterday was a total just fuck up. It really was. I feel bad for those guys. I mean, it takes a lot of balls to come on the stream, especially the way the state of the game is in. And, they're trying to hype things up. I understand that. They're probably trying to do their best. But at the same time, I can't feel like there's a hidden agenda about this game. There's just something that's never sat right with me since day one of picking this game up. It just feels like it's a rudimentary, early access Steam game to where, potentially it's going to die off in its first year, which is a shame because, you know, when I got into the game and I was running quick match, I was streaming it for like 7 hours a day. I was really enjoying it. And it just hit me, you know, once I hit level 99, I was like, what's the point in keep playing this game now? Obviously, I could be sitting here playing the game to try and entertain everyone. But for me, you know, sometimes when I'm doing stuff like that, where I'm only just playing the game to entertain my viewers, it's kind of just where I'm counting down the hours to the end of the stream where I just don't want to be here. You know, I'd rather be focused on the game a lot more, focusing on achieving something within the game itself as well. And that way I can have some fun with it. You know, I've even gone back to playing and streaming Evil Dead because at least we have the prestige system there. Yeah, I'm not really grinding the characters out on that, but Evil Dead's a lot more polished than Texas. It's got Bruce Campbell. It's got all these well-known characters from the franchise within the game as well. Texas just doesn't offer that. Are we supposed to be hyped that in 3 months' time we're going to be getting these two random-ass characters that are going to be called fucking Steve and Giuseppe or someone? Like, we don't know. Like, these are just totally original characters. We're not going to be getting licensed characters by the sounds of it. Yes, it would be nice to have some TCM2 content in the game. That would probably get me back to playing it, honestly. But if you're not going to be adding in these well-known characters from the franchise, and I'm sorry, but you know, if you're just going to keep adding original characters and charging $10 for it, you're not going to have the player retention there. People are going to drop off. This is why the game's been dropping off since fucking last year. And to think about it, when did Danny and Nancy come out? Like the end of November or something like that? And we're, you know, we're still 3 months away before we even get the next content drop, which is going to be a significant one. Obviously, those are the big content drops, which are characters, for example. And so, I mean, how many months is that? Like 5 months? In between adding new characters and a new map. That's fucking crazy. It really is. And you're just gonna drip feed some cosmetics in between there. I don't know, this scheduling of content, the way they're going about things with the community, it just feels a fucking mess, a tangled mess. And for me, I don't see it improving. I really don't. And I think people need to stop buying into this bullshit. They really do. We need to stop buying into developer bullshit about this. We need to start focusing on what's worth our time. There's too many people out there. Well, the game's only been out X amount of months. You know, compared to Dead by Daylight, you know, Dead by Daylight had a rough start at its early days as well. You don't want to know the difference between this and Dead by Daylight, and I'll tell you this fucking right now. Behavior took that Michael Myers bag, which is what redeemed their game. They took that money that they made from Michael Myers and they ran with it. They reinvested, they hired talent at their studio. They went, right, we need to focus so hard on this game. We're going to get some talent on board. We're going to get some more developers on board. And we're going to add more and more stuff to the game. This is not happening with Texas. Gun, I've had 12 people working at this studio since fucking Friday the 13th, basically. By the sounds of it, they've took all their money from Texas. It doesn't even sound like they're going to be reinvesting that into hiring talent at all. They've had over 4 million players. They got that Microsoft money at the start for Game Pass as well. Where's the reinvestment here? We haven't had any inkling of any reinvestment whatsoever. Instead, you know, we're getting some fucking dry rub to put on our meat, thrown in our face. It's like, I don't know, man. So yeah, guys, this is probably my last Texas Chainsaw Massacre video for a while at least. I mean, we're not going to be getting the new patch for another 3.5 weeks, which is just fucking absurd to think about, especially with how stale the game is right now. I don't even want to know the player count within the next 3.5 weeks. It's going to be, I don't know, just a dedicated fan base, which is fine. A lot more people, I respect you for being dedicated to this game, but I'm just saying it from my perspective, and a bunch of my guys from the community here, we're kind of tired. We wanted some player retention stuff in the stream. We wanted them to talk about the earnable currency, the player level cap and stuff being increased, but they never went into detail about that. I feel like that stuff was way more important than to even be talking about adding, you know, the next victim or the next family member, like, right now, because honestly, like, that's the key thing here, and I feel like that's why a lot of people have left the game. You can talk about the lobby time as being the issue as much as you want, sure, but you know, the game is incredibly unbalanced. You can speedrun the game consistently. You know, you can get out of the game in 73 seconds. There's a lot of fucking issues with the balance in there. There's a lot of issues with the content scheduling. There's a lot of issues with the lack of player retention as well. There's too many problems. There's too many fires to be putting out. And it's just kind of pissing me off at this point. And like I said, we're not going to be getting the next patch for another 3.5 weeks. By then, Suicide Squad's going to be out. I might do the odd stream for Texas here and there if I like the look at some of the cosmetics or something like that. But I don't see a reason as to why I should even devote any time or energy into this fucking game anymore. It's because of the way like we've been treated by the devs and just how they want to backchat the community and not really pay attention to our feedback. It's just kind of stupid. It really is. Why anyone would want to keep spending their time on this? I'm not the only content creator that's kind of abandoned the game. A lot of others have as well. And I really respect anyone that stayed dedicated to it. I really do. You have all my backing and success of trying to cover this game. You really do. But for me, I want to focus all my energy and time into something that's probably going to be a lot more fun, that's going to have a structure to it, a bit more substance to it, which is Suicide Squad, which is out at the end of the month. You know, Texas just isn't that. It totally fucking lacks substance completely. And I don't want to be the guy that constantly shits on the game. You know, we even playing other games in the stream and people are coming in talking about Texas, you know, tell me how, you know, shit the devs are and stuff. And, you know, it sends me on a rant about it. And it's like, at this point, you know, I'm kind of tired of it. I'm tired of the whole ASIM genre. I'm excited for Killer Clowns, honestly. You know, I'm at this point, you know, ASIM games are just kind of fucking dead. There's nobody coming out making an ASIM game and having a solid content plan, a solid strategy on how they're going to be fixing things, how they're going to be implementing things, and, you know, how player retention is going to work. Doesn't seem like anybody's coming out and doing that right now in these games, and I just feel like a lot of the stuff that the devs talk about is a lot of fluff, really. And like I said, the dev stream yesterday was just kind of it was a make or break point for me, and it just lost my interest completely with the way they were going about, you know, how they were going to be adding new patches and stuff. And that then they just started going on a whole fucking 5-minute segue and tangent of them, well, this guy worked on this for this reason, and, you know, we did this for this reason. And yeah, it's cool to kind of know that stuff, but sometimes they were just going on about that shit for absolutely no reason as to where we didn't even need to listen to that. But yeah, that's my overall thoughts on Texas Chainsaw Massacre right now. The game is stale as a fucking 3-week-old donut that you could throw out your window and smash. That's how fucking stale it is right now. I'm just tired of the game. I'm tired of these fucking ASIMs. I want something excitable. I want something hyped up for me. I want something that's going to have some substance and that we can do content for on this channel, because I believe we deserve something better than to sit here and fucking rant about a game not doing all the right things. And yeah, like I said, there could be people sitting here watching this video thinking, well, it just seems like you're upset because they're not adding stuff you want to add, which, you know, it could be the case here. But, you know, I see games differently to a lot of other people because I'm a content creator. You know, I see games needing to have substance there for me to devote a lot of time and energy into. You know, I sit here 4 to 5 hours a day, if not 6 hours plus, streaming in the game, and obviously the game is not going to be designed for that. But, you know, it's not even designed to have a 2-hour daily grind to it, or even a 1-hour daily grind to it once you get a level 99. There's just no reason for that. And it's not even as if, like, we rushed to level 99 either. You know, we put in, like, 200 plus hours into the game. I have about 300 plus myself. And the problem there is, you know, half of my game time has been used to be fucking around in skill trees and stuff like that. You know, there's an endless list of problems. There's a whole fucking novel I could write right now, the problems with this game, that'll just go unfixed. And it's the same problems that I've been hearing from the community since launch as well. You know, skill tree loadout, you know, doors feeling buggy, interactions feeling buggy, all this shit. All the lack of polish in the game, you know, just the total lack of content, the lack of substance, the lack of player attention. There's just so much shit that's been going on since day one that they just seem to have been ignoring up until this point, I guess. And then they're just going to be throwing in 150 flashy fixes, and it sounds like a whole lot of fluff to me. It really does. And I'm tired of it. I really am. I can't. I'm fucking exhausted trying to cover a game like this, trying to hype things up, because it's just, you know, just from my brutally honest standpoint, like I always am, I'm completely just fucking depressed with this genre now. I really am. I'm just done with it. I can't sit here and say, you know, I'm gonna enjoy playing Texas Chainsaw Massacre again, because it's just it's the same mistakes, if not worse than Evil Dead at this point. Evil Dead, let me just put things into perspective right now. Evil Dead in its first, like, you know, 6 to 7 months had its full season pass release of content, and that was new characters, a new demon for free as well. That wasn't even a season part of the season pass. You got a new demon for free, we got a new map, we got a bunch of cosmetics as well, and then we got the prestige system at the end of that as well. So we got a bunch of stuff in the, like, pretty much the same time frame of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and all we've had in Texas is 2 bland ass fucking characters, a new map that kind of sucks, and that's it, and some cosmetics dropped in there. It's I don't know, man. I don't see how anybody can be so blinded and just want to glaze these developers. I don't understand how anybody can be doing that with this game right now. Honestly, I had high hopes for this game. It just got more and more frustrated to the game not even attempting to reach any potential or any type of player growth. You know, we never got any events in this game. You know, it came out just before Halloween. Massive missed opportunity there. The writing was on the wall within the first few days of this game, and the first few months even, when they just were not doing the things that probably were important to a player base and to keeping a player base retention. But yeah, like I said, I see games differently to you guys. But anyways, I'm going to end it there, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm just being totally honest here. I'm not trying to be negative for the sake of being negative or anything like that. It's just, what's the point in being positive about any of this shit at this point? There's no reason to be positive. Just please, there's just no reason to be positive. Don't even try and blow that smoke up my ass, right? If 3.5 weeks to fix a broken character, and you know, the next 3 months before we even get any significant content drop, there's no reason to even be positive about this game right now. It's kind of fucking pathetic. But I'm gonna leave it there. This is my final Texas Chainsaw Massacre video for God knows how long. You know, like I said, I might do the odd stream here and there, but I feel like I'm at the point where I just want to move away from ASIMs and focus my energy and time onto something more enjoyable that is worth my time and worth my energy and worth my community, because we've got a bunch of amazing people here, and it really makes me sad to see how all you guys are feeling about the game. I know you guys, you know, it's a vital choice. You know what, you know, you don't have a lot of money or something like that. You know, it's a vital choice to where you want to be spending your money and, you know, what to invest your money into in order to get some, you know, good times back. You know, investing your time into Texas, investing your money into Texas. You wanted to have that kind of feel that was worth it, but was it really worth it for you? That's all I've got to ask is. But leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of the dev stream and all the topics I've talked about in this video. Like I said, it wasn't very well structured, this video. I do apologize. I just went on a bit of a rant, but I just need to get my points across. But hit that sub button if you are new to the channel as well. If you like to hear me rant about things, if you just like my personality about games and stuff, feel free to hit that sub button. I do stream on this channel as well. I am looking forward to covering Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I've got a few videos about that on my channel now as well, so you can go check those out if you want to know about that game. We're also going to be covering South Park Snow Days when that drops as well, and Killer Clowns. So I'm not totally abandoning ASIMs. We're going to have some Killer Clowns at some point on this channel too, so I'm excited for that one. And I think Killer Clowns is going to do a way better job post-launch than Texas has. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Pixel, my awesome viewers. I'll catch you guys in the next one.